Hello everybody, this is AlphaTraveler1 coming to you this week with another installment of the Small YouTuber Social Media 101. How is everybody doing? Just bear with me as we start setting up for you. And here we go. Kid Adult TV, how's it going? How are things in California doing for you? Is it hot in there? Hot there yet? Steve, you were able to make it. How are you? Steve, meet Kid Adult TV right here. So this couple here is really fun. They actually are not on the East Coast, but they're on the West Coast. So they do a lot of their streams there. So it's really cool. So I will be going to California the first week or so of September. I've actually booked it. So hopefully, you know, I think what I'm trying to do is to go there for Disney and what do you call it, the DCA, potentially Universal Studios. Now, I'm not sure if like Kid Adult TV. It's like thing is that for Universal Studios, it's great and everything, but I'm not really a very big I guess roller coaster kind of guy. Hey! Look at that slice of Disney. How's it going, y'all? Steve, here's another one from California. The Slice of Disney. They're a really great channel as well. They're based on, you know, out of California. They're really close. When I tell you really close, when they start streaming, I mean literally it takes 5 or 6 minutes, and they're like, okay, we're done. That's how fast it gets them to the parks. So really cool people, and they're a lot of fun. And I won their buttons, and that's on the most recent video. Looking at Free Things 101. The last of the buttons were actually from them. So really cool people as well. So we're gonna maybe give it another minute or so and just kind of get it started. So for those of you who are out here, really quick, this is actually for all my small channel, I guess, subscribers. There's a lot of them who pay me directly and ask me about how do I, as a small channel, start growing and utilizing a lot of the tools that YouTube has available and things for them to start growing. So they asked me if I could, you know, kind of work with them, kind of realize that it's very time consuming by working with each of them alone. So I kind of, you know, talked to some friends, and we started saying, let's do it together. You know, do one stream. Nightshame, how are you, sir? Welcome. Winty's World, how are you? Thank you very much for joining. So this is the reason why I'm doing the stream. This is really for a lot of our partner channels and, you know, our subscribers who might not be using the tools, or if they are, what's the word I'm looking for? What are the reasons and why should you use it a certain way? So what we're going to be going over this week is it's going to be really simple, but I'm going to give you a certain rationalization to use certain things. So this way you could actually think about, do I want to do that, right? So everybody, thank you very much. Before I get into the actual, I guess, demonstration, word of announcement. So as you all know, if you follow my channel, my channel has only been really starting to pop within the last 6 months, and I'm doing all this stuff, doing it right. And I am at 880 something in terms of subscribers. So I'll be doing a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. And just to give you an idea, my assumptions, I will probably reach it within a month or so. And some of the stuff that I will be giving away. Hey Cargo, thank you very much for coming. So some of the things that I already have lined up to give away on my 1,000 subscriber giveaway, I actually have a Coach bag for the ladies out there. Or even with the guys who have a girlfriend, you want to give that to your girlfriend, great. Penflow, how are you? Thank you very much for joining. So I got that Coach bag for the 1,000th giveaway, which I am anticipating probably doing that about a month or so. And I also have a Star Wars backpack I'm going to give away. I will also have a beanie hat from, I guess, what is that, Toy Story. One other thing I'm giving away is really simple. It's something that most people, and I don't think many people, have seen. It's actually a U.S. stamp collection of all the Disney villains. I will be giving that whole sheet away. So there will be 4 things that I'll be giving away, and this is probably within a month. So look out for that, and let's get going. Caleb MV, how are you? Thank you very much for joining. So everybody, we're going to go through this week's lesson, and I think you're going to enjoy some of the lesson and some of the best practices I'm going to explain to you. So here we go. So my assumption is if you are already a creator, right? You already know the screen that I am showing you here. And this is your video section. And what you're going to do is click on edit, right? But a lot of people don't understand one thing. When you go into this edit mode, this thing called end screen and annotations, right? One thing that a lot of people don't understand is that this particular screen is very, very powerful to get you a lot of view time. If you take a step back, last week we talked about the cards. Cards is there so that the folks who like to bounce around or go from video to video, you could capture them, right? Bring them to another video. But this end screen annotation, the reason why this is very powerful is that if any viewer, subscriber, watches your video all the way through, you don't want them to end there. You want to show them some other stuff. Keep them sticky on your channel. And the word is sticky, right? If they finish watching it, the likelihood they're going to jump out, guess what's going to happen? They're going to be out of your channel. You won't have another view. So this is the reason why it's important that you put in end screen annotations. However, there's actually a little bit of a science to this. So if you click on this, what will happen is, this is a screen you're going to see. You're going to see the video on kind of like the left-hand side of the box, right? And once you have that, it's taking a little time, so sorry about that, guys. So look at this. I've already had this set up, right? But what I want to emphasize to you is going to be really, really important, okay? And this is through looking at data And I am transferring this data to you so you understand where we stand. The one thing that I will always have, excuse me, give me a second, let me bring this down a little bit, is this subscribe button, okay? This is one thing where I normally put on the left top hand corner of the page. Now, the reason why I am doing this is that it gives a visibility of, one, your logo, and two, by clicking on it, anybody who hasn't subscribed, they have the option of clicking that. Okay? Now the two things here, if you look at this is this one here, the bottom right hand corner. This is best for viewer. Okay? The reason why you want to use a best for viewer is this. What I have found is a lot of times those people who watch your channel, they may have a separate like, right? You don't know what they like. You don't know them. So what's happening is this: for the best for viewer, they are using algorithm. So YouTube is using algorithm that says, hey, let's just assume that, you know, Bob came onto this page and realized that, you know what, Bob went through this whole video, watched it through. They will pull Bob's information and say, well, what has Bob liked in the past? What does Kenny or AlphaTraveler have that could potentially allow Bob to stay on, click it, and continue through the viewing journey? So what I am saying here, again, is very important. Viewing journey. Hey, Andy, thank you for coming. So keep that in mind, guys, right? Viewing journey. This is a journey. As they click through it, it is an experience for them. You want to make this seamless for every one of these guys, okay? So keep that in mind. So best for viewer, just to give you an idea how important this is, in the past, when I started putting these things on, where I got to choose what I want to show them, my rate of click-throughs on these end screens were relatively low, okay? And I kind of decided, you know what, why isn't it working? I kind of realized one thing, talking to, I guess, some folks who are very deep in marketing. They kind of realized, do you really know your viewers? And I kind of realized, you know, I really don't, right? Because if you look at the statistics, and one of the ones that I am going to be doing is to look at the statistics of someone's channel, or my channel, whoever it is. If you want me to look at yours, great. But looking at my statistics, I realized that 26% of the folks who are watching my videos are my subscriber. And that means around 70-something% aren't. So that means 70-something% of these people, I have no idea what they want or like. Okay? Think about that. That is very important. That is the factor where you don't know, where you need Google or you need YouTube's help. In this case, best for viewer will help you through that. Hey, Molly. Thank you for coming, joining. So, give you an idea, when I realized that after talking to some people who are in marketing, kind of asked a question that made me think, do I really know them? I realized, you know what, let me try this. Within 1 month of putting, say, best for viewer, I looked at my statistics. The click-through rate it went up more than 4 times. Think about that. More than 4 times. Whereas when I didn't use this and I just decided what I want to feed my viewers, think about that. Okay? How important is that, right? You, meaning me, or content creator, could easily click on this and say, you know what, create, right? And this is what it gives you. Most recent uploads, best for viewer, choose a video from the list. So when you do this, you have to think about this very, very clearly. Okay? Most recent upload. This is great when you have, a big channel that people are already coming, right? You could show them this is the most newest one. However, for the most smallest channel, you may or may not want this. You may want to share with them, because remember, as a small channel, you have a certain small subset of customers. The two things you have to do is to make sure best for viewer. And this is one thing that is a must for a smaller channel like us, is to allow YouTube and or Google algorithm to say, let me show this to Bob, let me show this to Jason, or let me show this to Andy, right, or Steve. Because they are using that data to pull and show you what may help, what may interest these folks, and they will click through. Remember, my statistics, when I started using the best for viewer, went up 4 times. Okay, 4 times. Think about that. That's 400%. That is stickiness. That's the ability for these folks to continue their viewing journey within your channel. Remember, your opportunity and what you want to do is to keep them here so that they don't bounce out. Okay? That is very important. So, as a smaller channel, or for a channel who haven't used this, try it. Because, as again, when I started using this, I didn't use best for viewer, but when I started using it, within 1 month, I started seeing the best statistics go up 4 times, or 400%. How cool is that? And this is the people who already watch you and they love your video. They're able to watch it all the way through. And you want them to continue to keep watching. So this way, you, as a small channel, you can build that trust with your viewers. And for the larger channel, it continues to give you that viewing time. And if you are monetized, there are more ads that could actually theoretically be, shown, right? So this is the reason why this is important. A lot of channels I've known or seen have not used this. Hey Josh, thanks for joining. How are you? So from a video and playlist perspective, this is going to be very, very important for you guys. Now these are the elements again. And the elements is video playlist, subscribe, promote another channel, or a link, right? So I have not used any of those 2 in the bottom, simply because I don't think I need that. My job is to build my watch time and build my subscription rate, right? So for me, these are the only 2 that makes sense right now. Well, yes, so you have to do this for each video. So what's really important is this. I'm going to go back, right? So, Jason, have you seen the previous video where we talked about the cards, where we want to make sure that makes certain sense for your customers? As an example, I have a few things that are Vegas-based, right? If I put in cards or end screen that someone's watching my Vegas video, and all of a sudden I punt them to some sort of a aquarium video, that will confuse the heck out of them, right? You don't want them to be confused. So if you were doing a Disney video, my suggestion is, if you choose something for them to see, it should be Disney based. Okay? So whatever you choose from them, have it Disney based. Now, from a best for viewer perspective, that you have no control over, but when you're using that, that is something. Hey Molly, Thank you for joining. Thank you for your support. And for all of you who retweeted my, I guess, my live, thank you. So, again, what you want to do is to keep them here. So the end screen annotation will do that for you. For those people who have watched your video all the way through. Okay? Make sure you do that. It is very important. Farah, it's been a while. Thank you very much for joining. How are you? Harmony, thank you very much for joining. Wow, we have a really a very good number of crowds, so thank you. So really simple. The end screen annotation, you could click on through, but again, video and playlist, for me, that's a no-brainer. It shows them what my video, what else to watch, right? Subscriber, you want them to have the ability to subscribe to you. Channel, you're kind of promoting another channel, so if you have a second, third channel, yeah, you want to create that. You want to push them there, right? But for majority of us, we don't have second or third channels, so it's probably not going to be applicable. Links, kind of like a website, maybe you're trying to sell something. I don't have that, so I don't know about you guys. So the first two are applicable. Again, so what you have to do, remember, what is going to be important? This is the reason why it's going to take a little bit, and this is the reason why I tell you, do it one at a time, right? Look at your video, where you want to put it, and the placement. So a problem is that a lot of these things, they do take your digital real estate, right? When you put this on there, wherever you're placing this, does it look right? Does it look symmetrical? And one of the things that bugs the hell out of people is that when they look at something and it is not symmetrical and it doesn't look like you put a lot of time in there, it is a very big turnoff. So this is the reason why when you do this, you have to think about placement. And you have to think about what videos, meaning yourself, right, do you want to show them? Right? So you could pick one or two. I mean, for me, I could pick another one. I could put it here, but it doesn't look right for me. It's going to be squished up. Hey, Rose Time. Thank you for joining. How are you? So this is another tool that you should implement when you are pushing out new videos, right? But it is not that simple. You could just pop them in there anywhere and it doesn't look right and people will be turned off and they're like, I'm out. See ya. Okay? You have to make sure when you place it, it looks right, it looks symmetrical, and it looks more inviting. If once you have that placement down, then you're going to say to yourself, well, how many of these do I want to put in? You actually do have the option of not putting in the subscribe button. And you could put 4 of these videos that you could introduce. But think to yourself, okay? How many times have you seen a video where there's 4 of these videos popped up in your face and you're like, wow, this is too much, right? And this is the reason why you have to think this through. What is too much to you, right? When you look at something, you want to, 1, be symmetrical, and 2, it can't be chaotic. Because you're pushing all this stuff, you put 5 or 6 of them, however many you want in there. If it looks really, really cramped, that will not help you. Hi, Lulu. Thank you very much for joining. So, here we go. It goes back to understanding, 1, how to place it, and 2, understand if you were in that in the shoe, opposite side, right? And you're looking at it, does it help me? So if it doesn't, and if it looks too chaotic, most likely it is too chaotic. So take one out. Okay? So with that said, when you are doing this, take your time. Start thinking this through. And to give you an idea, when I did the risk piece, the piece where you had your identity, your brand stolen, people asked me for an example. I'll give you another example. So I have a lot of Bellagio fountain videos. When I do choose to show them, when I pick out the video to show them myself, I will point them to another Bellagio video. Doesn't it make sense? Because if I enjoyed it and I saw this Bellagio video all the way through, the most likely chance they're hot. 1, 2, 3. You show it to them, they're like, oh wait, there's another one. They're going to want to click through. Think about that, right? And then I have the best for viewer. That, it uses algorithm. It could be anything. But for me, my preference is I follow everything through. Sherry, thank you very much for coming. Hector, us out loud, how are you? So that is it. That is an example for you. Use this. Don't abuse it. Abusing it is if you put too many of these things on one page and you have words and you have pictures on the background. And if you look at my video here, I still have real estate space in the back, so it doesn't look too crowded. So when you do it, take your time, think about placement. Hey, Mickey Bunch, thank you very much for coming. And it's that simple. But what is going to be a challenge is for you to think about what makes sense, what layout looks great. Because if you don't have that right, you are going to lose their attention. Think about that. So from here, everybody could see what you can add to your video to continue their journey. Again, it is a viewer's journey. So social media is a journey, believe it or not. So start thinking about when you do these things, how to make that journey better and stickier. Once you do that, you'll be successful. So with that said, I'm going to pause here for a little bit, and I'm going to ask to see if anybody have any questions regarding this particular piece. So I have slowly started going back and correcting my mistakes, meaning the other videos where I just chose the videos for them. Because I have over 100 videos now. It takes time. I'm not going to sit there every, just pop it through. So if you're going to do that, my suggestion is start with your first video, new videos first. Start getting an understanding how to do that layout. If the layout looks right and makes sense, then you could go back and use that as a template. Yep, see, Hector, there we go. So Us Out Loud, he uses that as well. Here's an example, how you could actually use that successfully. So make sure you do that, and use these tools. They are here for you to succeed. As a small channel, if you don't use it, it's hard for you to grow. So it's that simple. This is the reason why a lot of small channels have a hard time growing their subscriber base and their watch time. Is because some of these tools here, if you're not using it, it's not helping you. So from a small channel's perspective, think that through. And next week is going to be another biggie, so you don't want to miss it. To give you a sense of what we have, I have 14 other lessons and going down the pike on every one of these things here. We're going to go through that. We're going to go through the statistics. We look at the stats, it's going to blow your mind. And then when we go through keywords, I am going to teach you some some of the keywords to help you link that and increase your chance by 200 to 300% by doing what I did. So that is coming down the pike. And also, for those people out there, we're going to bring a lot of people in as special guests. So for us out loud here, Hector, he's one of my favorite guys here as well. He and I are very much alike. We love our technology. He is very fast to adopt that. So what I am going to do is on one of the, sessions, I'm going to ask Hector, if you're okay, I'm going to ask you to come in and kind of explain your experience and your journey through the technology, the cameras, the gimbals, the drones and everything like that. Kind of give everybody an experience how you're implementing that, how you are seeing this as a tool, right? And then we're also going to, kind of bring a lot of people out there in, like, we have Cargo as well. She sells a lot of Disney merch that she makes. Want to bring them in to help us understand the people. How are we making money outside of just, YouTube views, right? Is there ways to do that? And there are. So we're going to have a lot of these things to empower every one of you to really get an understanding, what does YouTube really mean out there? What's out there in the landscape? Because from a small YouTuber perspective, you have not seen it until you've seen all this stuff and really understand how to use it, how to dissect it, and understand what is that information telling you. Once you have that, you'll be able to succeed. So, with that said, I am going to stop the, education session here. And for those of you who are late, I'm going to make a quick announcement, and this is what I already did in the beginning of the video, is that I am close to, a little over 100 away to 1,000. Once I hit 1,000, I will do another giveaway. So in that giveaway, I already have a Coach bag included. I have a Star Wars backpack or bag, and I also have a Toy Story hat, the beanie hat. And there's also one other thing. There is a Disney Villains stamp sheet. I will be giving that away. That is a very collectible item. So once I hit 1,000, I will be doing that. So that really is it. That's all I have. So anybody else have any additional questions or comments? If not, I am going to kind of just end it here within this half an hour. Okay, that's it. So with that said, everybody, thank you all very much for coming. Thank you all very much for being our friend and being a part of the community. It is very important, and especially some of the big guys, you guys out there, you know who you are. Jason, Bob, really everybody, Hector, for really being a model to the smaller channels, right? And thank you for being here, kind of supporting, because that actually allows them to understand, hey, we're in here together. It's not the size that counts. It's that we are all here because we have one love of making videos that's based on potentially Disney or anything else. So thank you very much, and I will see you next Friday at 5:30 sharp.